How to win after loss. This is 𝗀𝗋𝗋, real estate millionaire, entrepreneur, mentor, author, speaker, mom of 5, and so much more. And on today's interview style episode, we are going to meet LaVon Wells Sandberg. LaVon is an amazing woman. I met with and connected with her. She is a spiritual advisor. She's a grief counselor, and she is an amazing person that helps you transform your life and get to that next level. She's going to share with us some really personal things that has happened to her and some clients that she has had and how they overcome their grief, how they win after a loss. This one is going to be an episode you cannot wait to watch with friends. Let's go.
Noel. Yeah, she can fix that. If you gotta get it done, all you need to do it better. Well, she can fix that. Yeah, she can fix that. Investment to get back, trying to get a big stack. She can fix that. Let's fix that.
Oh my gosh, wow. I am so excited to be here with you, LaVon Wells, lavonwells.com. You are an amazing spiritual type of leader, one that is really connected with mindfulness. And so in this episode, obviously, we're talking about overcoming some failures and getting to success. So we're going to go deep in this video. We're really going to go in there because you are an expert in this. You have a great spirit about you. And my audience would love to know about getting that strength after overcoming some failures. So let's get right into it. So just tell us, what is the best tip that you have for someone that is just overcoming an awful failure? Like, how do you overcome failure?
Well, first of all, I put together this breathe, grieve, and live. I believe the first part of this is breathing, taking the time to oxygenate every cell of your body. So breath, scientifically, breath spiritually will fuel you with clearer thought and give you a different direction. Give you a better angle, give you a greater insight into what's really going on. And not ignore and deny the emotions and the frustrations or the irritations or even the upsets that come up. And that is the grieving part. A lot of people are grieving in the world right now, and they're not even conscious that they're grieving. So grief takes on so many forms. And then, no matter what, at least do something. Get out of bed, do something, live. So the BGLs, breathe, grieve, and live. And living doesn't mean you have to get up and get out there and party it up or do something huge or great. It can simply be getting up out of the bed, going into the kitchen, washing a plate, drying the plate, and putting the plate back into the cupboard, because your subconscious, your conscious, all the different parts and pieces of you registers that and realizes, okay, there's more. There's a possibility. I can do this. I can't do the other right now because it's hurting a bit much. And I'm going to go back to bed now. So the BGLs, I would say, breathe, grieve, and live. Be honest.
Okay, so let me go there, because here's the thing that I think our audience needs to know, and you're going to have to get into it for a second, because you have a very unique background. You have a very unique thing that you do. So tell people, just give us a quick reverb and just tell people who you are and what you specialize in, because I have some amazing questions that the audience is really going to want to know, but I think they need to know who you are first. So go ahead and share that.
My name is LaVon Wells Sandberg, and I am a spiritual teacher, global speaker, and love activist, and I love what it is that I do. One of the main things that I do is I work with people that have, parents that have experienced a loss of a child. And so what I do is I share my stories, and I share my story of my losses and the transitioning passing of my daughter Kiva, and how that really catapulted me into what it is that I do today. I do a lot of different things with mindset and mindfulness, because those are the things that I'm requested to do. And I do those on Good Things Utah on Channel 4. And I also have done a TED Talk. And so different groups will ask me to do different topics because they resonate with my energy, basically, as a spiritual teacher.
Let me jump in here for a second, because you said something and you breezed over it really quickly. And I think it is really important to who you are and what your level of expertise is. So you're this amazing, accomplished person, and you speak about this everywhere, which is how I found you and why I wanted to bring you, to my audience. But you had a really great loss that you've turned into. You've really been able to teach people how to go there and turn that into something else. So give us a little bit about that, because you're amazing, and you just breezed over that.
So when my daughter transitioned, I mean, of course, losing a child, I don't wish that upon anybody, but it was a great, great pain, and it was a great struggle. And I just remember one day being knocked out on the floor of my room. I mean, literally like up and down on the ground, wallowing, and in my emotion about everything that was going on and losing my baby, and realizing that, you know, this hurt so bad, yet I have so many different life experiences that have made me strong, that has assisted me in knowing that my daughter is okay. There's no death. And that's one of the many things that I teach, that we live on and that those relationships actually expand, and that it's not about getting over anything. So when people tell people to get over it, it's been a year or 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, I'm like, no, there's nothing to get over. There is something to expand upon in this relationship. And so let me look at this. And I just remember being in so much pain, and I stopped and said, if I have these insights within me, and I know there's more, and I know that my baby girl Kiva is okay and that she's with me, what are other people experiencing right now? How can I serve? How can I assist them? How can I pour into them? How can I love on them? How can I assist them in accessing and their own hearts and knowing that there's more, and heal as a process? And so I really love taking people from that sadness to celebration, because there is a lot of beauty in the transitioning, the passing, and I'm not very traditional when it comes to speaking. I'm very blunt, direct, and I just let them know, hey, let's go there and let's communicate, let's connect, you know, let's journal, let's talk to them. So that's my baby. That's my main thing that I do.
I love it. And thank you for sharing that with us. And I know we're going to go a little bit deeper, because that's what I want this to be.
This is a serious point that I have to share with you guys. So you may notice that 𝗲𝗏 Wells Sandberg is telling you about her daughter. 𝗲𝗏 lost her child when she was a baby. 𝗲𝗏 was a new mother, and her child Kiva was an infant that was born with an illness. Her daughter was literally in the ICU as an infant. 𝗲𝗏 had to make the decision to take her baby off of life support. It was an amazingly tragic situation that 𝗲𝗏 had to deal with. It is not fun, and it is not anything to be excited about. However, I hope that you're getting that the lesson is that you can turn something very tragic into an entire career, into an entire business, and into an entire mission. Not saying that my story of being in my parents' basement, bankrupt, foreclosures, multiple bad credit, and everything going on, it was a very tragic situation. Of course, not as tragic as 𝗲𝗏's situation with her infant child, but still a tragic situation financially that I had to turn around. So please listen to this entire interview and learn that you can change something that is sad, something that is tragic, something that is bad that has happened in your life, and you can turn that around. You can make that into an entire business. You can turn that into a mission, and more importantly, you can help other people. I've helped people make millions of dollars because I was embarrassed, humiliated, and lived in my parents' basement. 𝗲𝗏 is going to show you how to take the loss, a very, very tragic situation, and turn it into a situation where you help millions of other people. So stay tuned and keep watching, because we have some great information on how to overcome challenges and still win. Okay, let's get back to this interview.
So some of the things is so funny. People see that I have this
amazing life with the wealth and the money, but they don't realize I'm a real person, and there's real things that happen. You know, real hard things happen to successful people. And that's probably one of the reasons why I am successful, because I started with some hardships and I overcame them, but the hardships are always going to come. So it's like learning how to cope with them. So go there for a second. I really want you to go deep, because like I said, you are different. And I know most people think that I'm all about business, but it's really, this stuff is why I'm successful in business. I'm very well in my mind, but it's practice. It's practice. It was work. It was effort. So tell some of the things, like you lost your daughter.
Yes. It's intense.
Yeah, it's intense. I'm almost like, I'm a mom of 5. I'm really a mom of 7. And let's talk about that for a second. So what are some of the things that you teach that really help make you well in your mind after such a hard thing?
Yeah, and I do this thing. I have this class that literally came to me through my prayer meditation, and I meditate a lot, and because I love the stillness of sitting with myself. Because here's the deal: if anything is going on externally outside of myself, outside of a lot of the people that will be watching this, anything that is going on externally outside of you is a mirror for you to reflect internally, and to see where are those areas that I get to shift, where are those areas that I get to be honest with myself and get to take a look and say, this is no longer working, and implement new things that will work. And one of the things that I talk about life hacks, and people use life hacks in business and in different arenas, but why not life hack your own personal life? Find that one area. A great example, meditation, because the work must be done on the internal. No matter how much money you make, no matter how much you do in business, no matter how well you think things are going or not going so well, if the internal compass is not being guided with wisdom, and you are not at the helm of that or at the steering wheel of that, you're going to always have, why is that? I'm experiencing success, but now all of a sudden it went away. Oh, there it is again, and then it's gone again. So there's this constant, because there is something innately within you that is trying to get your attention and wanting you to focus and actually make some shifts that's going to support you and assist you in moving forward. And so why not meditation, life hack? A lot of times I hear this from a lot of different people. I don't meditate. I don't have the patience. I have ADD, whatever it is that they have, whatever story that they're telling. I don't meditate. I can't be still. Okay, so here's the deal. Why not life hack that? Here's a great meditation. And we actually mentioned it earlier about washing a dish, but here's a beautiful meditation that I love to do. And it simplifies your life. It simplifies the time. You will always find time to do it. My beautiful hack that I love is taking the trash out. Now, if you know anything about meditation are 3 components, and a great teacher taught me this, and rest her soul, I love her. She transitioned about 2 years ago, love her. But she always would talk about meditation, and she would say, meditation is breath, relaxation, and presence, and focus. Actually, that was 4, but the breath is for the relaxation. Okay, so we're going to breathe, and we're going to focus and relax, period. So, and so when you're taking out the trash, be present with the trash. I open the trash can. I take out the bag. Be present with every step that you're doing with that trash. I'm also releasing anything that no longer serves my highest well-being. I'm also releasing the fear about my work is not working out. I'm also releasing, when I take this bag out of the trash, what happened yesterday, because today's a new day, a new start. And I'm focusing on these intentions while I'm taking out the trash. I'm focusing on my walk to the trash can. I'm focusing on my lifting the, and tossing it in and putting it back on. That is meditation. That is meditation.
That is meditation. That is a part. So let's go there for one quick second, because this is an amazing life hack that you're actually talking about. So one of the things that's so funny, one of the questions I always get, I'm like, oh, I'm a real estate millionaire. Okay, how do I become a millionaire? And I start telling people my morning routine. And one of the very important things is my morning routine, getting up early before everyone else gets up, and then being able to meditate. And I cannot tell you how important meditation has been to my success and to overcoming obstacles. So let's go. Like you said, it's a hack because people don't understand it, but you just actually told people how to meditate, because that's a question people often have. How do I meditate? And you just answered that. So that was just beautiful. Like, that is how you meditate. And it really can be taking out the trash and just being very present with the trash, and then throwing the trash away and releasing things with the trash. So
have it be intentional. Have it be intentional. Yes. Walking the dog.
Walking the dog.
Walking yourself.
Sitting. Yes. And there's more important though is not speaking.
Yeah. Oh, the silence is key. The silence is key.
The silence is key. Silence is key. Okay. So you said some amazing things about grief and processing grief. So what are some of the steps to processing grief and overcoming?
I think we spoke about that earlier, the breathe, grieve, and live. It's really about taking the time that because a lot of times what people will say to me is, I can't breathe. I was there. I get it. I understand. So what you're doing, the moments or the times that you are conscious of it, you're taking those conscious breaths, you know, those deep inhales and those great exhales. And so that when you're having a moment, because a lot of times grief will sneak up on you.
Yes, and it'll sneak. Grief will sneak up.
It
on you.
will
It'll be a
sneak
thought
up
that
on
just
you.
Enters your mind.
And it'll snatch you up emotionally.
Yes.
Been there, done that. You know, it'll snatch you up. But what'll happen is, because you've been practicing the conscious breath, because you've been practicing that, as I breathe, what is going on is I'm actually oxygenating every cell of my being. I'm actually assisting my brain to function very well, so that I'm able to discern and make conscious choices and not just go to the bottle because I'm grieving. No judgment there at all. But, you know, there are unhealthy ways of doing the grieving process. And so when you're practicing the breath, it will not be, your body becomes attuned to the practice. So like when you talk about the meditation in the morning, your body is attuned to the practice. It's almost as if you begin to start to automatically just go and sit in the chair, you know, or to sit on the floor, or however the practice is for you. What we're doing is these life hacks, you know, they're beautiful because you can create your own, the ones that are that will work for you, that feels good for you. Your own practice in the morning, your own practice in the afternoon, your own practice in the evening. And what that does is it kicks in naturally, because now you've rewired basically the brain with new behaviors. Right? And so you will because we're already doing automatic stuff anyway. We're on automatic whether we're conscious of it or not. So why not create new autos? You know?
I agree.
So when you cannot breathe, when you're going through the grieving process, when you're mourning, your brain will automatically kick in that practice of the breath. It would automatically kick in. It's okay to experience the emotion. It will automatically begin to kick in. Okay, now I want to get up and just go outside for a second. You know, I just want to be out in nature. Now, here's another beautiful, when you're going through the grieving process, I don't mean to get a little woo on you, but we're going to go there. And you know, woo is just something that you've never heard of before and never experienced. And that's why they call it woo. So it can be anything. Let's just clarify that. It can be anything you've never experienced, okay? And it's new. And that's why they call it woo. But I love this, and in my workshops and in my classes, what I teach is get yourself a green blanket. Our souls, our conscious, our awareness, our consciousness relates and connects with color. That's why you see color throughout the world. That's why art is so important, and creativity. But green is the color of healing and soothing and calming and peace. And it's almost as if your body goes into automatic when it's surrounded by green. Take a look. Creation, the trees, the grass. That's not an accident. Nature. That's why they tell you to go out and walk in nature. That is not an accident. And I guarantee you, scientifically, you can prove that that's true. And I'm sure it's out there. You know, I just do what I do. But so the green is very therapeutic. And in business, you know, you were talking about people in business and maybe even experiencing grief in that and loss in that. A lot of times there are so many people, and I mentioned this earlier, where they don't even realize they're going through the grieving process because they're so worried and concerned that I will lose my business if people think that there's a slight bit of weakness going on here, because they attribute that to grief. Heal, you know, be honest and deal with it, heal it, and move forward. Here's the deal. We are living in 2021. We just went through a 2020. There is no time to be about the pride. There is no time to be about the appearance. There is no time to play the game with yourself because you're only hurting yourself. It wasn't about self-isolation. It was about self-reflection. It was about self-evolution and the revolution within yourself. And we are still in that process of doing that. So free yourself, is what I say. Free yourself and be honest and do the work. And you'll find that the work can be challenging, but usually when it's challenging, it's because there is resistance to the work. There is resistance to taking a look. It doesn't have to be the old paradigm that it has to be hard. I know people are like, it's gotta be hard and work hard and da-da-da-da-da, you know. No. Yes, the hard work is just doing something new that you've never done before and challenging yourself. But when it's all said and done, it's all about choosing easy. And that means choosing to surrender, choosing to trust, and choosing to go within and listen and then follow through on what you're being prompted on. Trust your spirit, trust your soul, trust your intuition, trust your heart.
I love it. I love it. So you said some amazing things about more so the grief process. And obviously you come from this spirituality and this grief, perspective. And that's the field that you've worked in for so long. And so why I wanted you to bring this on, and I think this is so important to connect, is that some of these processes that you're naming, being mindful, being spiritual, meditation, these are across the board things that help a person be well. And if you're well in your life, you can be well in your business. So some of the business things that you have, obviously we know, personal lives, and people have things in their personal lives, and it does spill over to their business. So give us your best advice on how to just stay well. We've mentioned the meditation. So what's your best advice for that?
Be your best friend. Have a conversation with your best friend. People think I'm crazy. I am having dialogue, conversation with myself when I am in it, and I'm just like, now, LaVon, now we know what we know. What are you going to do now in this moment? Have dialogue with your conversation. And you know what? How can you have a conversation with your client, a healthy relationship with your client, if you're not willing to sit and have a healthy relationship with yourself? Answer me that.
Right.
Start with you. I promise
That's
it
right.
works. You don't have to be spiritual. You don't have to be anything. And you can still do these things where you're having the conversation. You don't have to subscribe to anyone or anything and still have that innate personal conversation with you. And you'll have breakthroughs. You'll have breakthroughs.
It's true. And you really can be your best friend. That's some really great advice. I think of the words inventory and accounting, and I think of these words in my business. These are words that we use in our business all of the time. It's something that I look at with my balance sheet. It's something that we assess in our business. And we also have to address the deficits in our life. You have to address the deficits. You have to face the things that are holding you back. What is your best tips and advice on how to be your best self for yourself and for your business?
The best tip, support, advice, insight that I can give you is to breathe, grieve, and live. After loss, I took my situation with the loss of my daughter. I mean, I really experienced the inability to actually go there. I thought that life was over as I knew it. I was gasping for air. I literally was not breathing. I was making some choices and not necessarily grieving in healthy ways, even though I knew what I knew. But when this idea of take a breath, LaVon. You know what you know. So I began to use that process, and because I was the strong one. I was always the strong one. There's so many different things in my life, and that's for a whole nother story, that I've had to be the strong one, else I would lose myself, almost literally my life. And so I pulled up from those experiences, and I began to face myself, and I gave myself permission to grieve. I gave myself permission to be honest with my emotions, and I gave myself permission to keep going, because I thought at some point in some time, if I stopped grieving or if I stopped thinking about Kiva, that I would be doing a disservice to her, that I would be dishonoring her. And no, she wanted mommy to move forward. She wanted mommy to be successful. She wanted me to
honor. When did you decide? I'm sorry to interrupt, but when did you decide that you were really going to turn this, this grief into a business? So yeah, sure, I know that's hard, but what was that like? I would love to know, just for my own self.
You know what? It was literally guided, the little step by step, because I still had no intention to do that. I just knew that if I could talk to as many people as I could and assist them through this pain and this heartache and this grief, that the world would be better for it, And I always tell people, heal the hearts of the grieving and heal the hearts of the masses, because there's so many people out there that are doing that. And then finally one day it just clicked. It's like, people started coming to me and saying, you deserve to serve more people. How can you serve more people? You know, why don't you just implement this in your business? Because at that time when she had transitioned, I had become a massage therapist because I was grieving. I mean, literally, a friend said, go to massage school. I buried her in March. I was in massage school in August. But as a result, that also got me to go to to college and get a degree at the university. So it was like I was just guided to do these steps that I thought I couldn't do. I just didn't think I was smart enough to go to school and be successful in school education. But I did it, and I've got 2 degrees, you know. And yeah, I know. And but then every time I took the opportunity to sit with myself, get clear on what am I to be about today, I was shown step by step by step. And it took years. Each step took me to the next step because I was willing to breathe, to grieve, be honest with my emotion, be honest with myself, and to move forward and live my life and not allow my losses and my grief to determine that life could no longer go. I could no longer go on with.
Yeah, can't define you.
Can't define it.
You can't let it define you.
Yes, and now I'm in the business. What I'm doing, I've been given the opportunity to have a segment on television on mindfulness. I've been given the opportunity to do a TED Talk. You know, I've been given the opportunity to speak on a national level with Helping Parents Heal, which is a national organization. I've been given opportunities on many other different platforms because I continue to, in the morning, sit with myself and say, I will to will, thy will, please show me how. What is next? Okay, LaVon, start journaling. Okay, LaVon, start writing. Okay, LaVon, call this person. Okay, LaVon, and I follow through. And that is how it works for every and anyone. If you're willing to sit with yourself, be your best friend, be willing to consciously take that breath, and also be willing to be honest about your emotions and what you're feeling, and still get up. Still get up. And using that life hack, that one little thing that, you know, implements continuing to live and live on and live on.
Okay, so then where can people reach you, LaVon Wells Sandberg?
You can reach me at lavonwells.com. You can also reach me on Instagram. I spend a lot of time there at The Spiritual Teacher.
I love it. Awesome. Well, this has been an amazing interview. I am so happy and thankful that you guys shared so much information. Cannot wait for people to reach out to you. You are a gift from God. Have a beautiful day. Thank you so much, LaVon. So wow, I have an amazing gift for you. My new book, Real Estate Millionaire Secrets, is absolutely free. Go to 𝗏𝑒𝑙𝑠freebook.com right now and get my brand new book that will teach you how to invest in real estate while you are bankrupt, have bad credit, multiple foreclosures, and are in a terrible, tragic situation like I was in when I started my real estate journey. You can learn, if you're in a better situation than I was when you started, you will learn so much and you will be able to do so much with your career. Please get this book absolutely free at Noelle's Free Book. I just want to make sure that you have all of the resources, all of the tools, and all of the knowledge that you need to be successful. This is Noelle, to your success.